Developed for the Marine Corps, it replaces the older CH-53E Super Stallion and gives Marines a heavy-lift aircraft designed for modern assault support, ship-to-shore movement, and recovery missions. In April 2022,
the Marine Corps announced that the CH-53K had achieved initial operational capability,
meaning the aircraft, crews, maintenance teams, spare parts,
and training pipeline had reached the point where the platform could support real operations in demanding expeditionary environments.
The King Stallion looks familiar because it follows the long CH-53 family.
.53 family, but nearly everything inside was redesigned. It uses 3 GE38-1B engines, composite rotor blades, digital flight controls, modern avionics, and a wider cabin than earlier models. The helicopter can lift about 27,000 pounds externally. Over 110 nautical miles in hot and high conditions, giving commanders the ability to move vehicles, artillery, supplies, or troops where roads and landing craft cannot reach during expeditionary operations from the sea. A typical CH-53 mission begins long before the rotors start to turn. Crews walk around the aircraft and inspect blades. They look for leaks, loose fasteners, damaged wiring, worn tires, or anything that could become a problem.
once the helicopter is vibrating under full power. Inside the cockpit, pilots review displays.
Communications, navigation, fuel, hydraulic systems, and warnings. Starting the aircraft is deliberate. Electrical power comes online, systems initialize, and coordinate with ground personnel before lifting into a hover.
The aircraft's value becomes clear when it carries loads no smaller helicopter can handle.
The aircraft's value becomes clear when it carries loads no smaller helicopter can handle.
The CH-53K lifted a Joint Light Tactical Vehicle, proving its ability to move modern marine equipment
from ship to shore or between remote locations.
In another dramatic lift, the helicopter carried a non-flyable F-35C airframe,
showing how much mass the King Stallion can control beneath its center cargo hook. Heavy external loads require careful rigging. Ground teams inspect slings, shackles, hooks, and attachment points. The helicopter approaches slowly, hovers over the load, and crew members guide the hook into position.
Once connected, the pilot raises power gently until the sling tightens and the load leaves the ground.
The crew watches for swinging, twisting, or uneven balance before departing.
Load is secure, transitioning to forward flight.
The CH-53K also supports aircraft recovery.
During an MH-60 recovery mission, Marines rigged the downed Navy helicopter and used the King Stallion to lift it from the recovery site.
Such missions demand patience, because damaged aircraft can shift unpredictably
and must be carried without further destruction. The cabin can also move troops and internal cargo. Marines board through the rear ramp, secure weapons and packs, and sit along the sides while crew chiefs monitor movement. Internal cargo is tied down to floor points, with weight distributed so the helicopter remains balanced. Internal cargo is tied down to floor points, with weight distributed so the helicopter remains balanced. In assault missions, the CH-53K carries Marines into landing zones with speed and mass.
During air assault raid training, infantry units load quickly, fly to the objective area,
Exit under crew direction, and move immediately into security positions. Egress training prepares them for emergencies. Marines practice leaving through exits, moving away from the aircraft,
Make sure that's secure before we take off.
and reacting if smoke, damage, or rollover conditions make a normal exit impossible.
For crews, instructors, and maintainers, the aircraft represents a major step forward.
That matters because a heavy lift helicopter may be asked to move a vehicle one day, carry infantry the next,
and recover damaged aircraft after that. It gives the Marine Corps heavier lift, modern controls, and more reliable performance for difficult missions that begin where ordinary transport ends under pressure.
range and endurance are just as important as raw lifting power, so the CH-53K was tested with aerial refueling.
During refueling trials, the helicopter flew behind a tanker fitted with a hose and drogue system.
the pilot aligned carefully, extended the refueling probe, and eased toward the drogue.
While turbulence, rotor wash, and tanker wake affected the approach.
Once the probe connected, fuel began flowing, and both crews monitored position, pressure, and stability. This capability allows the King Stallion to move much farther without landing, extend assault support missions,
and remain useful across large ocean and desert regions. For Marine Expeditionary Units,
aerial refueling can connect ships, remote bases, and inland objectives that would otherwise require several stops. It also reduces the need to place fuel points in vulnerable locations, letting commanders keep the aircraft moving while ground forces continue the mission.
Even when distance, terrain, weather, or enemy pressure complicates normal refueling plans.
The CH-53K is also suited for tactical team movement in combat zones. Its cabin can carry infantry Marines, equipment, ammunition, water, and mission gear. Crew chiefs manage the ramp, secure cargo, and watch the landing zone during approach.
When the helicopter touches down or hovers low enough for unloading, Marines exit quickly and clear the aircraft.
So it can depart before becoming an easy target.
The same aircraft can return with casualties, equipment, or personnel extracted from the field under pressure.
Strategic movement adds another layer. A C-17 Globemaster III has airlifted a CH-53K,
allowing the heavy helicopter to move between theaters without flying the entire distance under its own power. Loadmasters secure it with chains and calculate balance before flight. Keeping the King Stallion ready requires intensive maintenance. Mechanics inspect engines, transmissions, rotor heads.
Drive shafts, hydraulic lines, avionics, fuel systems, and the cargo hook.
Panels are opened, filters are checked, fluids are sampled, and faults are traced through digital systems. The aircraft's modern digital design helps maintainers identify problems faster. But its size means every task still demands planning, stands, tools, and teamwork.
When HMH 461 received additional CH-53Ks as part of the IOC milestone.
The arrival represented more than new aircraft on the ramp. It meant squadrons were building the crews.
Maintainers, manuals, supply chain, and experience needed to make the helicopter operational. Each inspection, training flight, cargo lift, and refueling test help turn a new machine into a dependable Marine Corps workhorse.
Ground, confirmed tow bar engaged, proceeding to staging. The process continues after every demanding mission and prepare it for the next task.
A helicopter this powerful is only truly useful when the people around it keep it controlled, documented, and ready.
The King Stallion's strength is measured not only by what it can lift safely,
but by how reliably it can do that job again and again reliably.
Developed in the Soviet Union, the Mi-26 was designed to lift massive cargo into remote regions,
where runways, roads, or heavy cranes might not exist. Its 8-blade main rotor,
twin engines, huge fuselage, and rear loading ramp make it a flying cargo truck. The Mi-26 can carry around 20 tons of cargo, either inside its cabin or as an external sling load. The cockpit is wide, filled with analog instruments, switches, engine gauges, navigation equipment, and communication panels that were advanced for their time.
maintenance begins with scale. Technicians inspect the enormous rotor blades.
Gearboxes, engines, landing gear, ramp, cargo floor, hydraulic systems,
and control linkages. Access panels are opened, oil levels checked, filters examined, and exposed systems inspected for leaks, cracks, wear, or heat damage. Because the helicopter is so large, crews use ladders, platforms, and teamwork to reach components above the ground. Starting the Mi-26 is a slow process. The engines start one after the other,
and the huge rotor begins turning above the fuselage. As the blades accelerate,
the downwash grows powerful enough to throw dust, grass, and loose objects across the landing area.
If carrying an internal load, vehicles or supplies are driven up the rear ramp and tied down to floor points.
If lifting externally, riggers connect slings to the cargo hook and check balance before the helicopter takes the weight.
the aircraft lifts into a hover, stabilizes, and slowly transitions into forward flight.
In flight, the crew monitors vibration, engine power, altitude, route, weather, and cargo behavior.
Landing requires the same careful discipline. The pilot reduces speed,
descends gradually, and settles the helicopter onto the landing area, while crew members watch obstacles and ground conditions.
Belarus has used the Mi-26 as a rescue and heavy lift helicopter,
taking advantage of its ability to move large cargo or support recovery tasks in difficult locations. The American aircraft emphasizes Marine Expeditionary Assault support, digital systems, ship compatibility, and modern reliability. The Mi-26 emphasizes enormous volume and raw lifting capacity, above all else, operationally. Both prove that heavy helicopters remain essential when cargo is too large or time is too short. From the CH-53K starting on a Marine flight line to the Mi-26 lifting across vast open terrain, these aircraft show how vertical lift solves impossible transport problems.
they can carry troops, vehicles, damaged aircraft, and supplies into places where no runway exists.
Where no runway exists.
That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. Thank you.